Alright, I got it in there, but what I had to do was I had to take it out of the case, and this little piece here, like it was pushing down whenever you tried to push the battery in, so I had to push it through the backside and push up on this little tit. But you can see it works. So we're going to have to put it back in the case and finish it up. I was afraid to break it. So I looked on it. I looked in the manual. It's the battery it calls for. It's a 27. So we're going to stick this thing back together now. It's pretty technical to get this thing all back together. But what I was talking about, you'd be in it for quite a bit to finish this thing out. Only pieces that it was missing that I would prefer that it had some heat wrap for the exhaust, and it come with the battery pre-installed in this thing, which I like a better battery just because of how the screws are to get it apart. So for a cheap heater, it seems like it'll be alright, but time will tell. I don't even know how to put this thing back together. Like I say, I took it apart once and just to kind of see what size the battery was. So I figured I might want to buy a better battery. I seen other packs of batteries that were a little bit cheaper, but you can see how small this is. But it being such a ordeal to put this back together, figured might as well not cheap out on the battery. Now, as far as sitting in front of a dryer, when you're sitting there watching TV or something, I got a small place here. That just saves money on electric and water, all that. So, my aunt was going to give me a house out by the lake, which I stayed out there a little bit. But I just remember when she lived out there, dead of winter, they'd be out there, no electric, no gas, because they'd have to sit in the car and get heat and stuff like that. But it's a nice house. It's a 2-story, upstairs, downstairs, 2-bath. Pretty decent old house. But I remember when my cousin used to call me up before he passed away, and oh, hey man, run out. So I like living here. It's just close to town, and you're on the main power, you're on the main water, so it ain't too bad. But there you go. That's finished out. And let's just kind of green light works, so we're good. Now that was a little bit more undertaking than I thought it would be. So good luck if you get one of these little heaters. They're nice. I mean, to sit in front of it on high, you can't leave it on more than a couple minutes. But I put my hand on the pipe, make sure everything's good under. I'd imagine you'd have to get in there and dust. Periodically you just kind of look it over, check it and everything. But there's with the accessory to just hang it to where, if I'm kick back watching a movie, I can kick it off, kick it on. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not too lazy to hit the button. You got to stand there and hit the button, hold it in. So I'd rather just be able to hit the button on the remote here. You're $5 for a battery. I've seen some other batteries that came with a bunch of different batteries. I just went ahead and got a better battery, a little bit more. I waited about a week on Amazon to get it. And then the heater was about $90-some. You're $2 a foot for outdoor rated wire. I got a $200 battery on it, which I've got a warranty on that battery for like 3 years. And then it's prorated. But you can come in at the end of the 2 or 3 years and just pay the warranty on it, just like going to Harbor Freight or anything else. That's where I got this, the ceramic blanket I waited on Amazon off it for about almost a week, even though I've got Amazon Prime shipping. And then, if you buy two before, buy a piece of sheeting. If you don't already have that, if you was to buy a piece of steel that you didn't already have, I recycled an old, it was a old gas grill. Just cut one of the legs off, made it happen. I had to have a piece of tin. I had to modify that. It took me a whole day, like from 7 o'clock in the morning. I took a nap, woke up, it was cooled off, which is still a little warm out through the day. But, it's those December, January, February months that, you need the heat really good. And plus, I got a baseboard heater. Like, if I don't have fuel or whatever. But I remember when the power went out that you had to run wherever to get the propane. Now, the Tractor Supply here close, you can get propane, refill your jugs, but it's cheaper to go somewhere else, just to be honest. Tractor Supply really only does jugs that are 150 pound, 30 pound, stuff like that. Not the little $20 exchanges, or 18 bucks really. So, it costs more to do it at Tractor Supply. But we're finished up with this. As far as installation, it was fairly easy. It wasn't the easiest, but you know how that goes.